Hey guys, and welcome back to another live stream. Today we've got the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend. It's going to be a great race, and we are less than an hour away. The cars will get on track at 11:20 Eastern time. 11:20 Eastern time, yeah. So 11:20 Eastern time, and it's currently 11:08. So we are about to see the cars get on track in about 20 minutes. The pit lane will be open. They'll do their warm-up lap to the grid, and we'll get the race underway. Should be a really good race. News came out that Verstappen will be taking a 5-place grid penalty, which kind of a 5-place grid penalty, which means Max Verstappen will be starting from the pit lane, and that was the first time in a long time that Red Bull got knocked out in Q1. Both of the Red Bulls got knocked out in Q1. Both, first time in a long time. First time in a long time. So the grid will look like this. In 20th, starting from the pit lane, you've got Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Then in 19th, the Brazilian hero who did crash on the final lap, on lap 20. I forgot how many laps there were in the sprint race. Doesn't really matter. Gabriel Bortoleto in the Sauber, the Brazilian hero. He'll be starting 19th because he kind of he crashed. It was a really bad crash during the sprint race yesterday. And then in 18th, we've got Yuki Tsunoda starting in P18 in the Red Bull. Then in 17, we have Argentine hero Franco Colapinto in the Alpine. P17 goes to P17 goes to Franco Colapinto in the Alpine, who did crash on one of the turns, the same turn that Oscar Piastri crashed on yesterday. Then in 16th, we've got Esteban Ocon in the Haas. Carlos Sainz, who's had a couple good races in a row, a couple podiums. He's been having a bounce-back second half to the season. He's had a really good second half to this 2025 season, Carlos Sainz in the Williams. Carlos Sainz has really made the most of the Williams car in the second half of the season. So really it's been exciting to watch Carlos Sainz these past couple races because he's been racing really well, and it's been exciting to see him perform so well in a car that normally doesn't perform like this. And then in 14th, we've got Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. And in 13th, we have Lewis Hamilton, who got knocked out in Q2. Lewis Hamilton hasn't really been the best in qualifying in 2025. He'll be in 13th in the Ferrari. In 12th, we've got Alexander Albon in the Williams, followed by P11. We've got Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. The top 10 goes like this. Nico Hülkenberg in the Sauber in 10th. Pierre Gasly in 9th in the Alpine. We've got Liam Lawson in 7th in the Racing Bull car. In 6th, we've got George Russell in the Mercedes. In 5th, we've got Isaac Hadjar in the Racing Bull car. In 4th, we have Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. Oscar Piastri, a big favorite to win the championship, but not so much anymore. He's not really a big favorite to win the championship because he crashed yesterday, giving Lando Norris, who had a 1-point lead going into the sprint race yesterday, giving Lando Norris a bigger lead, a 9-point lead for Lando Norris in the World Drivers' Championship. In 3rd, we have Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, followed by Kimi Antonelli, the Italian hero from Bologna, in the Mercedes in P2. His highest ever race finish was P2 yesterday. During the sprint race, he achieved his highest ever finish in a Formula 1 race. And in P1, Lando Norris. Kimi Antonelli starting on the front row, and Lando Norris has got to defend the tough Kimi Antonelli, a 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli in P2 on the drive to turn 1. We saw Lando Norris win the sprint race yesterday. Lando Norris gaining another 8 points with this win in the sprint race. After the sprint race, Lando Norris extends his lead to 9 points. He extends his lead to 9 points on Oscar Piastri, and Max Verstappen still in third place. Still in contention, but he's got to do a lot to get in to actually win the World Drivers' Championship. I think that I know for sure he's got to do a lot to win the championship. Because Verstappen in third place on 326 points. Oscar Piastri P2 in the World Drivers' Championship with 356 points. With his 30-point lead in the championship. Oscar Piastri, he keeps on crashing. Oscar Piastri, who keeps on crashing out in the race today. He crashed out in the race yesterday. He crashed in the sprint race at the United States Grand Prix. So, Oscar Piastri, it seems like the World Drivers' Championship is kind of slipping away from him. He does have a 30-point lead on Max Verstappen. But Max Verstappen is currently in P3 in the championship. So, Verstappen starting from the pit lane, this could be Piastri's chance to get a ginormous lead on Verstappen in the sprint race, in the race today. It was a little bit rainy yesterday in the sprint race. A lot of rain, a little bit wetter conditions yesterday, as the cars will get out on track in 6 minutes time. They're making their final adjustments. Of course, they can't make any adjustments. Of course, they can't make any final adjustments. But with 45 minutes till race time, anything is possible. Verstappen has a chance to win today. Verstappen, if he does get the win today, depends on how Piastri does today, will have a, depending on what happens today in the race, if we'll see a huge impact in the championship today. Verstappen and the 3 championship favorites. We've got Lando Norris, P1 in the World Championship, starting P1 in the race today. We've got second in the World Championship. Oscar Piastri starting P4 in the race today. And P3 in the World Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen, who will be starting from the pit lane today. It's going to be really tough for Verstappen, but we've seen him come back. We've seen it at Interlagos specifically. Him getting a really good race. Brazil, one of the best races Verstappen's ever been a part of last year. P17 to P1. An amazing race for him last year. He will be starting from the pit lane, effectively P20. Can he get a podium, or even more, get a race win today? Can he even more get a race win today here at Interlagos? One of everyone's favorite, one of the best races, one of the most entertaining races on the F1 calendar. Yeah, we are getting set for the cars to get out on track. 11:16 a.m. local Eastern. 1:17 p.m. local time. The race starting at 2 p.m. local time in Sao Paulo, Brazil. One of the most beautiful countries on the planet Earth, and right near the Amazon rainforest. One of the most beautiful rainforests in the world. host to one of the most beautiful countries in the world, Brazil. It's been a big weekend for Brazil's very own Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto, the fans are cheering him on even after what happened yesterday. Gabriel Bortoleto went online to share his concerns. I was lucky, and from the words of Gabriel Bortoleto on his crash yesterday, I was lucky and I was blessed to get out of my incident today. It was a huge crash, but I am standing here, and it shows not only the quality of the construction of these cars today, but also the progress we made over the years in terms of safety. I would like to thank our mechanics who did everything they can to put me back on track for the classification. They worked hard to rebuild my car from scratch, and we almost made it on time. Obviously, I couldn't help but be a little disappointed that I couldn't qualify in my first Grand Prix at home. It's enough to build something. It's a shame, but I really think our car was competitive enough to build something this weekend, as demonstrated by Nico's classification for Q3. But there is classification for Q3. But there is still a race tomorrow. I just want to get in the car, drive, do my best, and enjoy the time on track. That is from the words of Gabriel Bortoleto on his crash yesterday. Gabriel Bortoleto, his crash yesterday, one of the worst crashes I have seen during a Formula 1 race. 52 G's. 52 G's of force was the crash yesterday when Gabriel Bortoleto went airborne and collided into the wall. He effectively went airborne and collided into the wall yesterday. All right, it's 11:20 p.m. It's 1:20 p.m. Sao Paulo time, and on the happier side, we have got cars out on track for the first time today. We have cars out on track. The cars are getting ready. The pit lane's about to open. The cars are about to get out on track for getting ready for the race today. Getting ready for getting their cars out on the grid for the race today. This has been a really emotional weekend for a lot. Coming to Brazil is very emotional in F1 because this is the home of Ayrton Senna's very home. And to tribute Ayrton Senna this weekend, I will be wearing this Ayrton Senna shirt for the race today in support of Ayrton Senna. The cars are about to get out on track. They're getting the cars out on track for this race today. Looks like Nico Hulkenberg out there. A couple cars. The cars are out on track, getting set for this Brazilian Grand Prix. And in 1994, we will do a moment of silence before the race. But in 1994, in Imola, Italy, it's always very sad to come to this track. It's always a very sad race, a very sad weekend, because in Imola in 1994, at the San Marino Grand Prix, Ayrton Senna, Ayrton Senna, aged 34, stepped into his McLaren for what is the last time he will ever get in a Formula One car. And it's a very sad weekend, as we saw and it is a very sad weekend. We saw Kimi Antonelli paying homage and respects to Ayrton Senna at his grave on Monday. We saw him with photos online of him. We saw photos of him online going to Ayrton Senna's grave and paying his respects and honors to someone who changed the world of motorsports. Not only on the track, but off the track. His legacy is remembered for generations and generations to come. And as most people say, Ayrton Senna is the GOAT of F1. Lewis Hamilton out there on track. We could call him. We technically have two Brazilians in this race today: Lewis Hamilton and Gabriel Bortoleto. Lewis Hamilton, of course, has a Brazilian citizenship, so we can call Lewis Hamilton Brazilian. Because he has a Brazilian citizenship. We could technically call him Brazilian, I guess. Yeah, as the cars are getting onto the grid, the packed stands, the grandstands are packed here at Interlagos. It is about 34 minutes away till cars go vroom vroom for the next 2 hours of your life. It was a rainy weekend. We did have a lot of weather warnings yesterday. Some of the cars getting back into the pit lane. Some of the cars driving up to the grid. It is going to be a very interesting race because, I think Interlagos is counterclockwise track. Interlagos is like, we go from a clockwise track to a counterclockwise track. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you're a racing fan, you know what I mean. We're going from a counterclockwise track to a clockwise track, I think. This is not a clockwise track, by the way. This is a counterclockwise track. Because this is what I mean by I gotta explain this. This is what I mean by a counterclockwise track and a clockwise track. A clockwise racing track is when the Interlagos is a counterclockwise track. One of the only few tracks that goes in this It really is a difference between a counterclockwise track and a clockwise track. A good example of a counterclockwise track is the Circuit of the Americas in A good example of a counterclockwise track is COTA, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. The track is a counterclockwise track is when the track starts on, depends on where you're standing, but a counterclockwise track is when it starts on, it's when they go a different direction on the track. This is a counterclockwise track. One of the very few counterclockwise tracks in Formula 1, because most tracks are clockwise. They designed clockwise tracks, but enough yapping about what direction the cars are going in. It means they're driving in a counterclockwise thingamajig. They're driving in a counterclockwise way. Enough of my rambling. We are just 31 minutes away till the lights go out, until away we go, and away I go, and away we go in Brazil. Oh, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not going anywhere. The national anthem going to get underway in a couple moments' time. The cars are out on track, which means F1, all you F1 fans, are you ready? Woo! For Charles Leclerc to win the game. If I'm being completely honest, let's do some race predictions for my top three. My top three today, looking at everything, my prediction for top three today, looking at everything, looking at, what's been going on in qualifying and such, my top three, this might be a surprising top three, but I've got Max Verstappen in third. I've got, what's his name? I got Max Verstappen in third. I've got, Kimi Antonelli in second. And I've got Oscar Piastri. I've got Kimi P2 and Lando P1. That's my prediction. My predictions is Verstappen P3, Kimi P2, and Lando P1. That is my prediction for what the race is going to look like today. What the final order is going to look like today. If you want to keep up with live timing, live stats, and live everything, you can do so on the F1 app. Just click the App Store button on your phone to download it today. Trying to do a Sky Sports thing. And thank you guys for joining the live stream today. I greatly appreciate it. We are at 41 subscribers, and I greatly appreciate each and one of my 40 subscribers today. So if you like to like and subscribe, please do. I greatly appreciate it a lot. "27 minutes till race time today. here in Interlagos. We had some pretty huge crashes yesterday. Franco Colapinto, Oscar Piastri, all getting into the 26 minutes till race time, guys. 26 minutes. It's going to be a really good race. I promise. I promise it's going to be a really good race, guys. All the drivers drawing their trees for Sebastian Vettel trying to rebuild the Amazon forest, trying to initiative to make everything green. He's trying to push everything and make it like make the earth greener. That is Sebastian Vettel's initiative this weekend in Interlagos, because he went on a trip last year to the Amazon rainforest, and he wanted to do something about the people who are like the deforestation in the Amazon rainforest. And he is trying to raise awareness for this today by having all the drivers draw a tree and like hang it up on like a poster or something. I'm not 100% sure what he's doing. What Sebastian Vettel is doing. Sebastian Vettel he's been really an environmentalist after leaving F1 in 2022. He's really been environmental and very eco-friendly after leaving. Thank you guys for the 8 views. Wow, the views keep on getting higher and higher. Put in the comments down below, who do you guys think will win the race today? Will it be Verstappen? Will it be Leclerc? Could it be Lance Stroll? Could it be Franco Colapinto? Who's going to win the race today, guys? Will it be the home hero, Gabriel Bortoleto? I have no idea. Who do we think is going to win the race, guys? Who do we think? I can't tell you who I think. I can't tell you who you guys think is gonna win the race. Can't tell you guys to I can't tell you guys who to vote for, who to bet on, or whatever. Max Verstappen. Oh, never mind. Never mind that. Verstappen getting his car ready. He'll be in the pit lane to start the race today. He'll be in the pit lane when the race starts. – 1:36 p.m. local time here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The race is about to get underway in just 23 minutes time. Sebastian Vettel getting interviewed at the moment by multiple people. This is, I don't know who that is. Let's play Spot the, Felipe Massa! My favorite time, Spot the Celebrity at the F1 race. Felipe Massa, who has been trying to get in court to oppose Lewis Hamilton's 2008 Formula One championship win. Because of the crash gate that happened in Singapore before they went to Interlagos for the final race of the season. Yeah, I think a lot of people. It's a very memorable first ever race in Singapore. Um. Billy Idol at the race as well. He's an English singer. What a memorable first ever race in Singapore, 2008. All the commotion and all the stuff that brought upon that crash gate that happened in 2008. But Felipe Massa, he's trying to get it. He's trying to get to. He's trying to get the 2008 result overturned, and then he'll become the world championship in 2008. But I don't think it's really working. Everything's working against his favor. He's trying to go to court, pay all this money to get in court, but it's not really working in his favor. We are just 20 minutes away from race time here in Sao Paulo. A lot of celebrities on the grid today. Sebastian Vettel getting interviewed all weekend. I feel like every time he always comes to Brazil, he's always trying to. He always comes to Brazil for Formula One. Last year he did a tribute to Ayrton Senna. There was a huge tribute with Ayrton Senna last year in Formula 1 at the Brazilian Grand Prix. This year he's doing the forest stuff to help stop deforestation in the Amazon rainforest, and not just the Amazon rainforest, but in forests around the world. He's really trying to work on that. And yeah, he's really doing a lot outside of F1 to help the world, to make changes in the world. It's what he's passionate about. That's not, he's allowed to be passionate in it, and I'm happy for him. He's passionate in what he wants to be passionate about, and there's no stopping what he's going to do for the world, what Sebastian Vettel is going to do for the world. The Mercedes car getting set for the race today. The all black. I love the all black. I love the all black Mercedes cars. Mike something. I don't know who they are. Stupid VIP people. Stupid all VIP. Stupid all VIP. I'm trying to get the race up for you guys. I'm trying to get this race up for you guys. Where is it? Window capture. I wanted to capture this. No, not this. I want to capture. There we go. We've got the race. We've got the race. We've got the race. We've got the race for you guys. Right here, guys. Going to put one up. I think we're gonna have to do this. Nope, and here we go. Oh, I wish it could, like, they used to do this thing where it was not like this. Wait, I'm trying to, sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to get the, and we're about to get the national anthem underway. I guess we'll have the top 10 up. Here's the national anthem. The cars, the planes doing their flyover before the race. The national anthem has been, the Brazilian national anthem has been sung. The drivers are about to get in their cars, and we are about to get set for the 2025 Brazilian Grand Prix. And we're happy for you to join us, to join me today as we watch Formula One. It's the Formula One Brazilian Grand Prix. Really excited to have you guys along, watching the race with me. Trying to find a good place for my camera thing. Here we go. Excited to watch the race with you guys. It's going to be a really fun race, and we are just less than 10 minutes away. We are 13 minutes away from the formation lap getting underway. Stefan Domenicali, he's at the race today. Excited to see him at the race. A big Formula One rank. He's high up in the Formula One ranks. Wait, hold up. I'm trying to see if I can do something. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, never mind. I think we got this. I think this is all good. Okay, never mind. 40% risk of rain today. Verstappen and Ocon both in the pit lane today. I don't know if Ocon's starting in the pits or not. Haven't really seen that news pop up yet. Oscar Piastri getting his helmet on, about to step into the car. We are 12 minutes away from race time, guys. 12 minutes away. You know what? We'll keep the We'll keep it up for the next 10 minutes. 10 minutes till race time, guys. The formation lap gonna get underway in 10 minutes time. Of course, we'll go through the grid. We'll do our grid stuff. In 5 minutes time, we'll do our countdown to the grid. We'll count down to the grid. And we are just 9 minutes away from race time. 2 p.m. local time. Going to be a really good race. Really excited to see if Verstappen can have an amazing comeback like he did last year, going from P17 to P1. I know a lot of people are anti-Max Verstappen, but I feel like no matter what, you gotta applaud him from going from P17 to P1. That is a phenomenal race for him last year. Kimi Antonelli, the 19-year-old Italian, getting his thoughts ready for the race today. Just think about it. A couple months ago, he was taking high school exams in high school, and now he's a Formula One driver. He did that at the same time. Crazy, just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff as we are 8 minutes away from race time. This is what I won't be showing the race, but this is what I'll be showing. I'll be showing the No, I'll be showing this. I'll be showing this. This is the screen I'll be showing for the race. Not trying to get taken away. Right. I'm not trying to get taken away from Formula One like last year. 8 minutes away till race time. Verstappen starting from the pit lane. The Brazilians. It's always a good time. And the last time that both Red Bull cars were a fun fact is that the last time both Red Bull cars was eliminated in Q1. Kimi Antonelli, guess how old he was? Kimi Antonelli was only 43 days old at the 2006 Japanese Grand Prix. That was the last time up until yesterday that Red Bull got both of their cars knocked out in Q1. Was the 2006 Japanese Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli was only 43 days old. And almost 20 years later, 19 years later, Kimi Antonelli is 19 years old, and Red Bull got knocked out in both of their cars got knocked out in Q1. So that is something right there. Also yesterday, Jenson Button retired from the world of motorsport yesterday after the race yesterday. He did the 8 hours of Bahrain. Final hurrah. He is done forever in the world of motorsport. No, he's done in a racing sense, not he's going to be a Formula 1 commentator, I'm pretty sure. He's been doing that as well on the side a little bit. But his motorsport career, not his commentating career, his racing career is over. The actual racing part is over for him. So great, amazing career. Won the 2009 World Championship with Braun GP, the team the $1 Formula 1 team. If you know the story, you know that they bought the team from Honda for just $1 in the 2009 Formula 1 season. Real ones know one of the best world championships of all time was Jenson Button's F1 World Championship, because they did technically use a loophole in the system to do that. Alright, we are 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go till the cars get out on track. And here we are. This is the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is the 2025 Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be a really good race today. Expecting a lot here today. And we are ready to go racing in Brazil in just less than 5 minutes time till the cars go for the formation lap today. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. We are trying to surpass Quadrant in subscribers, so thank you guys. We're trying to outdo their live stream. Just because Lando Norris is a part of their group doesn't mean that they have a better live stream than me. But enough yapping. This is one of the most historic F1 races of all time. Historic F1 tracks of all time. One of the best F1 tracks, Interlagos. Many of you know and love this amazing track. And we welcome you to Brazil. This is the 2025 Brazilian Grand Prix. Round 21 of the Formula 1 World Championship takes us to Sao Paulo, Brazil. We came from Central America in Mexico City to Sao Paulo in South America. One of the biggest countries in the world. Here is Brazil. 71 lap race. 43.0 meters in elevation, and this is going to be an amazing race today. Let's take a look at the tire compounds today. The soft tires are going to be the C4, the C3 will be the mediums, and the C2 will be the hards. Some of the hardest tire compounds on the F1 calendar. Let's take a look at the starting grid for today's F1 race. Starting from the pit lane is Esteban Ocon in 20th. Max Verstappen starts in 19th. Gabriel Bortoleto in 18th with Yuki Tsunoda, the Red Bull, in 17th. Both Red Bulls getting knocked out in Q1. Franco Colapinto starts 15th with Carlos Sainz, P15, in the Williams. Can he have a really good race today? In P14, you've got Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin, in the Ferrari alongside him. P13 is Lewis Hamilton. P12 is Alexander Albon, and P11 is Fernando Alonso. Sauber being in the media a lot recently because Gabriel Bortoleto is Brazilian. Nico Hülkenberg starts in 10th, Pierre Gasly in 9th. Oliver Behrman in 8th, had a really good qualifying session yesterday with Liam Lawson in 7th. George Russell starts P6 as Isaac Hadjar in the top 5 in the Racing Bull in P5. In P4, you've got second place in the championship, Oscar Piastri, alongside the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in P3. One of the youngest F1 driver on the grid, Kimi Antonelli, starts P2 alongside Lando Norris, who starts in pole position today. Yeah, Kimi Antonelli, the Bologna hero, the Italian hero, Forza Italia, as the Italians will say, as the Italians say. Turn 4 holding an extra 220,000 people as they extended the grandstand today. The cars are about to get out for the formation lap. The cars are about to get out on track for this race today. The cars are about to get out on track. The clock strikes 2 p.m. in Sao Paulo. The cars are underway. We are underway for the formation lap here in Sao Paulo. Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Verstappen, and Ocon, the only drivers starting on the hards, and Yuki Tsunoda. Colapinto, Albon, Hülkenberg, Russell, Piastri, and Leclerc starting in the mediums, and Lando Norris also starting in the mediums, and the rest of them starting in the softs. We've got Verstappen in the pit lane, making a pit lane start today. As the cars are getting out they are making their turn to turn 1. Some of the cars in the back going a little bit slow here. Formation lap getting underway here today. The formation lap underway as Lando Norris, the fastest pit stop of 2025, the DHL fastest pit stop of 2025, 1.91 seconds, goes to McLaren, who achieved that in round 16 of the FIA World Championship back in Italy, back in Monza, earlier this year. Lando Norris leads the World Championship, but not by a lot. A 9-point lead is what keeps him at bay. Is what keeps him in the lead of the World Drivers' Championship. Thank you guys for the 29 views. 304,000 is the weekend attendance at this race today. 304,000. Wow. What a lot of people. Lando Norris making the hike to P1 on the grid, about to make the final turn into his grid spot, about to slot in to that P1 grid spot, as the rest of the grid will do so as well. Lando Norris getting in his grid box, getting ready for the lights to go out. Getting ready for the lights to go out here in Brazil. For the lights to go out in Brazil. Waiting for the final drivers to get their spots on the grid. Green means go in Sao Paulo, and we're underway here, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Lando Norris goes into turn one with Kimi Antonelli trying to overtake Lando Norris. It looks like a clean turn one from Lando Norris, who stays in the lead of this race. It's Lando Norris, followed by Antonelli and Leclerc. That is what the positioning is going after the first couple turns. We've got Lando Norris, a little bit of dust on the brakes there. We've still got Max Verstappen, who just had exited the pits in second to last place, actually, because Esteban Ocon in last place. And Lando Norris takes a huge lead in this one. Oh, we've got a car going off track, but he's got back on track. I think that is the car of Fernando Alonso right there. Fernando Alonso battling with the Sauber right now for P10 in the race. But out in front, Lando Norris still in the lead of this race. The Williams making a lot of positioning. A yellow flag out on track. Let's see what we've got. There's a yellow flag being waved, and we've got Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto's front wing is in shambles. He has crashed out in Brazil. Yet another crash. It looks like he's about to get out on track, but this weekend, not going well for the Brazilian of Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto down in 20th. His front wing got a little bit crashed there. Lewis Hamilton down in 18th at the moment. And man, oh man, it looks like not a good race for Lewis Hamilton at the moment. The safety car coming out, and for the second time this weekend, he crashed out in the sprint race. He crashed today. Gabriel Bortoleto is out of the... Lewis Hamilton's front wing is demolished right there. Looks like he needs to go in for a pit stop at the moment. But Gabriel Bortoleto is out of the Brazilian Grand Prix. And there is Gabriel Bortoleto's family, who are not happy with what has been happening this weekend with Gabriel Bortoleto. And man, we can see Piastri focus more on... There's Antonelli. Antonelli tries to overtake him. Lewis Hamilton, who kind of got a little tapped by... his front wing kind of fell off the front of the car. His front wing fell off, and it's kind of under his car. Not as bad as a crash as yesterday as we go to Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto looks like he spun out and hit the wall. He kind of lost the steering there. So yeah, not a very good start to the race indeed for Gabriel Bortoleto as the safety car being brought out. Lewis Hamilton in 19th. So we've got Lando Norris followed by Antonelli, Leclerc, Piastri, Hadjar, Lawson, Russell, Behrman, Gasly, and Alonso make out the top 10. Albon, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Colapinto, Verstappen, Ocon, Tsunoda, and Hamilton as Gabriel Bortoleto stands on the side of the track. Stranded on the side of the track. Not a very good weekend for Bortoleto. And man, his weekend's in shambles. Gabriel Bortoleto in shambles at the moment after crashing out on the first lap of the race. Safety car out on track. Lewis Hamilton had to pit because he had to get new tires. Not new tires, he had to get a new front wing on his car because his front wing got completely demolished. His front wing fell off the car. So he had to get a new his last stop was 18.5 seconds, a very slow change, but they had to pry the front wing off the bottom of his car. It was kind of lodged in the bottom of his car, under his car, so they had to, so they basically had to lodge it out from under the bottom of the car, and get a new front wing on. So of course it took a while. And the front wing got stuck under his car. Yuki Tsunoda, not really having a good race, but made up positions because of Hamilton's mishap. And thank you guys for joining the live stream. I do greatly appreciate it. So I do greatly appreciate the 47 people watching the stream today. Yeah. So the safety car is still out on lap 5 of the race. Gabriel Bortoleto hopping in the back of the rescue car, getting him back to the pit lane. And man, Gabriel Bortoleto only needs to do is decompress. After what a weekend it's been for him. Not in a good way. It's been a terrible weekend for Gabriel Bortoleto. Yuki Tsunoda's lost 1 position at the moment. Is the floor okay? Yeah, damage confirmed on the floor. Yeah, mate, I've lost a lot of downforce. Rear is not stable. Understood. That is coming from Lewis Hamilton when it got under the car. The rears aren't as stable as they were before. The track is about to get cleared. There's Jos Verstappen in the pit lane at the moment. Safety car ending, and we're about to get green light racing. We're about to get a full lap of green light racing. Once Lando Norris crosses the start and finish line, the safety car is in this lap. Everyone's starting to jumble up together. Everyone's starting to jumble up together. The safety car is ending here. And it's lights and the safety car coming in. Lando Norris about to cross the start-finish line. And we are green. Green means go. Green light racing. The light turned from yellow to green, and that means we can go racing again. Oh, there's contact. Oh, Charles Leclerc's wheels on the track. The wheel on the track goes down the hill, and there's contact, and it looks like Charles Leclerc might have to come in for a pit stop. Ferrari are P18 and P19. The wheel on the car went flying down, flying down. Flying down, the wheel on the car went flying down the hill. So there's a yellow flag for a track hazard because they're trying to get the car they're trying to get it off the track. Doesn't mean that Leclerc's out the race. It just means that he has to come in for a pit stop. A yellow flag at the moment might deploy a safety car, a virtual safety car if needed. But the wheel on the track went flying down. It's on the side of the track. There's a virtual safety car, because they need to pick up the wheel on the side of the track. But that's about it. Verstappen, who started in P19, is up into Leclerc's out the race. Leclerc's done. Leclerc is out of the race. Oh, brother. Leclerc is out. Leclerc is out of the race. So it looks like a lot of damage on his front tire, on his front left tire. No, I think that's his front right. Yeah, it's his front right tire. A lot of damage on his front right tire after he got hit by Kimi Antonelli. And he is out of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is another DNF. We've had 2 DNFs in the first, we're not even 10 laps into the race and we've already had 2 DNFs. If we look at the DNF chart, we have Leclerc finishing in P19 and Bortoleto P18. And we have virtual safety car being deployed at the moment for this issue we have out on track. Trying to get the car off track. So, virtual safety car is being deployed because his car has stopped on the side of the track. No need for a safety car. Lando Norris has a fast lap of the race of 1:14.539. Really haven't had a lot of green light racing at the moment. Verstappen down in the P18 as he's making a pit stop, I guess. He's pitting again. No, it's the first pit stop of the race. Getting rid of those hard tires. Verstappen pitting. Hamilton's also pitted already. And Yuki's pitted also already. Yuki and Verstappen, Verstappen on the mediums, they're both on the mediums. They're taking the hards off and putting the mediums on. But a virtual safety car right now, Lando Norris still in the lead on lap 9 of this Grand Prix. On lap 8 of this Grand Prix, I think the virtual safety car will be ending at the end of this lap because it looks like they've got Leclerc's car sorted out. So, and it's green, and green means go, 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 and we are green light where the green means go, 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 and we're underway again. Lando Norris in the lead, followed by Piastri in P2, and Antonelli making up the podium positions. Verstappen, the championship leader, as Ocon's pitting at the moment. Verstappen, the third place in the championship. He is currently P16 at the moment. Esteban Ocon into the pits at the moment. Esteban Ocon, a 2.9 second stop for Esteban Ocon. The battle for first place between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri is going well at the moment. Kimi Antonelli said his team, he went on the team radio and said, "Kimi, we think the car is fine." Leclerc in 19, Bortoleto in 28, they have both retired from the race. So we've got 18 cars, and we are on lap 10 of this race. Are we going to get some green light? We got some green light racing already. Lando Norris leads the championship, but if he wins this race, he'll extend his lead by 16 points. He'll be in the lead of the championship. He'll have a huge lead in the championship, a 16-point lead in the championship. Race Control has noted a collision between Stroll and Tsunoda. That has been noted by Race Control. That has been noted by Race Control. The collision between them, Stroll and Tsunoda. Tsunoda's final season in F1. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a place on the grid for next year. He doesn't have a spot on the grid for next year. Isaac Hadjar in P4 at the moment. The battle between P4, between Hadjar and Russell. Russell in P5, Hadjar in 4th. They're battling for P4 at the moment. And it looks like Hadjar staying in the lead. But Lando Norris has gained a 1 second lead, a 1.4 second lead on Oscar Piastri for P1 in this race at the moment. Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:13.049. Fastest lap of this race. Lando's still in the lead of this one, a 1.4 second lead, followed by Piastri and Antonelli. Hamilton trying to make the overtake on Colapinto. Can he get this overtake on Colapinto done? He can't get it on this corner. Will he get it on the next corner? Because it looks like a less than 1 second gap between the two. As we also see George Russell trying to overtake Isaac Hadjar at the moment. Less than 1 second difference separates the two cars. As George Russell couldn't do it on this corner. Looks like he's inching also close to Isaac Hadjar. As they're about to go down the straight. As they go down the straight into turn 1. George Russell in 5th. Can he get the overtake done on lap 1? The Piastri-Antonelli incident, turn 1 collision noted by the Race Control. The battle for 5th place still going on. George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. George Russell down the back straight. Can he get the overtake? And yes, he does. George Russell up into 4th place at the moment. Overtakes Isaac Hadjar for P4 in the race. We still got Lewis Hamilton in P15 at the moment, but Verstappen in P16. The battle outside the points between Verstappen and Hamilton. Verstappen's gained three positions since the race started. Oliver Behrman and Pierre Gasly are also battling at the moment, but the on-track battle between Verstappen and Hamilton has been brewing for a couple of laps now, and it is starting to take shape at the moment. A 10-second time penalty for Yuki Tsunoda for causing a collision. And it looks like Oliver Behrman up into P7 at the moment. Trying to overtake Liam Lawson at the moment. And he does! Oliver Behrman gets the overtake done on Liam Lawson. And Oliver Behrman is up into P6 right now. Verstappen overtakes Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen's up into P15 in this race. Lewis Hamilton trying to bounce back after a pretty good sprint race. but trying to bounce back in this race. Yeah, Lando Norris in first. The podium positions right now, P3 is Antonelli, P2 is Piastri, and P1 is Lando Norris at the moment. That's what makes up the podiums at the moment. The battle for P6, Oliver Bearman and Liam Lawson, has been an ongoing battle throughout the last couple laps. Bearman, Lawson, Gasly, and Albon are all in like a DRS train, trying to get overtakes done at the moment. There goes Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, who got a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision with Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll spun out. He kind of tapped his right rear tire, and he kind of spun out on that one. Max Verstappen up into P14 at the moment. Next on the list is Yuki Tsunoda. He's got to overtake Yuki Tsunoda next. He's less than a second behind Tsunoda. Can he get that overtake done on Yuki? We shall see. I think that Red Bull will probably order Tsunoda to give the position to Verstappen, so Verstappen can try and gain position on Hülkenberg, who, if he does overtake Tsunoda, his teammate, will be up into P12 at the moment. He'll be up into P13 and then can challenge Hülkenberg for P12. Verstappen trying to get the overtake done. The Carlos Sainz Lewis Hamilton incident, turn 1 collision has been noted. Lewis Hamilton says, "Mate, I'm going to crash out here. I'll keep trying cars." Something. Something. So Verstappen trying to overtake on Tsunoda at the moment, but Gasly still trying to get that overtake done on Liam Lawson at the moment. So the battle there has not yet done. Hamilton is in the pits right now. I think Lewis Hamilton might retire from the race. Looks like he's getting a new set of tires on. Not the best race for Ferrari today. Ferrari is in shambles today. P18 now for Lewis Hamilton. But can Verstappen's up into P13 after that overtake on Tsunoda. Can he get the overtake done on Nico Hülkenberg? Nico Hülkenberg is next for Verstappen, who is currently sitting third in the World Drivers' Championship. But at the moment, can he get the overtake done on Nico Hülkenberg? He couldn't get it last lap. He's trying to get it on lap 15. He's trying to get it done on lap 15 of this race. Can he get the overtake done? It looks like he can't. A 0.5 is the distance between 0.4 is the distance between Verstappen and Hülkenberg at the moment for P12 of the race. The Hamilton Colapinto incident has been noted by race control. The turn 15 incident has been noted by race control. Hamilton down in P18. Max Verstappen chasing Hülkenberg for 12th at the moment. DRS open on the back straight. Can he get the overtake done as they're about to head into the start and finish straight? Verstappen couldn't get it done on that corner. Hamilton has already done 2 pit stops this race. One because of his, the front wing getting stuck under his car. The second, 10-second time penalty for Oscar Piastri for causing a collision. Oh, congratulations. Yes, we can all breathe a sigh of relief because Oscar Piastri has just gotten a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. Verstappen gets the overtake done on Hülkenberg. And next will be Fernando Alonso as Verstappen's up in the P12 at the moment, chasing the podium spots. And the 10-second time penalty would surely will put him in P5. Will send him all the way down off the podium at the moment, so it doesn't look like he's going to be at the podium. So it looks like that got investigated and he's got a time penalty. Verstappen still with the fastest lap. He is currently trying to overtake for P11 of the race now, and he does get the overtake done on Alonso. Verstappen, because Sainz is in the pits. A lot of drivers pitting at the moment. Verstappen up in the P9 at the moment. So Oliver Behrman, a 3-point-second stop for him. Carlos Sainz, a little bit of a longer stop for him. Not a really good stop for him. And he comes out the pits in P18. Lewis Hamilton up in the P17 at the moment. Oliver Behrman gets out just ahead of Hamilton in P16. Which puts, because of those two, it puts Verstappen in P9 in a point spot at the moment. In the points for Verstappen. Might add too. He started in 19th. He's up in the P9 right now. He's gained 10 positions since the race started. A 10-second time penalty for Piastri for causing that collision. I've said that multiple times. Yeah, he's got a 10-second time penalty at the moment. Isaac Hadjar and Gasly are both going into the pits. With Gasly coming into the pits and Hadjar coming into the pits, this has put Verstappen in P7. Verstappen's in P7 right now. He's already done his mandatory pit stop, so he doesn't need to pit again. And I think that will help him. A 2.4 second stop for Hadjar, 2.6 for Gasly. Verstappen in P7 at the moment. We are 19 laps down. We've got a lot more laps to go in this one. On lap 20 of the FIA World Championship, race number 21, the 21st race weekend of the season. Head to Las Vegas in a couple weeks' time for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Verstappen chasing Albon for P6 at the moment. Verstappen is currently in P6 at the moment because Lawson is pitting. But now he's trying to go for P5 and overtake Albon for a top 5 spot. So he's trying to go for that spot. So Lawson, a 2.0 second stop for him. Verstappen trying to take over, trying to get the attack done on Albon. Can he do it? He couldn't do it that corner, but he's kind of following the same racing line as Albon. A little bit following Albon's racing line. Verstappen on Albon. Couldn't get it done that time. Plan B, Lando Norris is going to Plan B at the moment. Even though he's got a 4-second lead on Oscar Piastri and a huge lead in the World Drivers' Championship now. And down the straight he goes. Verstappen's up in the P5 at the moment. Next is George Russell. And Verstappen is currently 9 seconds behind George Russell for that P3 spot. For that P4 spot. Sorry. Hulkenberg up in the P7 at the moment. And as we take a look at the World Driver standing, the predicted points at the moment show that Lando's still in P1 at the moment, followed by Piastri in P2. McLaren still lead the World Championship, but as of right now, Yuki Tsunoda up in the P15 in the World Drivers' Championship. Verstappen in third, gaining 12 points at the moment. Antonelli coming into the pits right now. He's got a pretty fast stop for Antonelli. As he'll exit the pits in P7, which pushes Verstappen up into P4. Verstappen has already made his pit stop. George Russell hasn't. That is one key difference. I don't think Verstappen's going to have to make another pit stop. So Lando Norris in P1 at the moment, followed by Piastri, then Russell, Verstappen, Albon. Russell using a used set of tires at the moment. A used set of medium tires who were three laps old. His medium tires were 3 laps old when he came into the pit. No, when he used them. As he is using an old set of tires at the moment. Verstappen 19 seconds ahead of behind Russell for that P3 podium spot. Antonelli down in P10 at the moment. With Lando Norris in P7, pit stops plus 20 seconds average time lost in the pits today. Kimi Antonelli set the fastest Sector 1, 18.736. Kimi Antonelli in P9 trying to get the overtake done on Tsunoda. He's lost 7 positions, Antonelli, in this race, trying to regain himself that P2 spot where he started off as. Thank you guys for the 72 views. Greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. Lando Norris in P1 at the moment, followed by Piastri in P2, with Russell in third, and the World Championship still looks in Lando's hands at the moment. It's looking like Lando's gonna win the World Drivers' Championship. as someone comes into the pits. I can't really tell who that is coming into the pits. It's Yuki coming into the pits, which has put Antonelli into P9 and has put Yuki down to P12 at the moment. 16, 17. Will he come out behind Hamilton? Yes, he does. A pretty horrendous stop here. 13.3 seconds. Jeez. He's out. He's coming out of the pits now. Hulkenberg trying to get the overtake done on Albon for P6 of this race at the moment. And there's another battle brewing up between Kimi Antonelli and Fernando Alonso for P7 in this race. Kimi in P8 at the moment. The Italian icon, 19 years of age, racing in his first F1 season after finishing 11th in the F2 World Championship last season. The Formula 2 World Championship season, which is in American sports terms, as he goes into P7. In American sports terms, that's like the minor leagues of racing. But you could compare it to like college football and how college football is to the NFL. That's basically what Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula Regional, Formula 4 is in terms of the racing landscape. Yuki Tsunoda down in P18, Hamilton still in P17. Both have taken 2 pit stops at the moment. Both struggling at the moment. The incident between Yuki Tsunoda, incident involving Yuki Tsunoda failing the service time penalty. That's not very good. Now is it? He's failed the service time penalty. Now is it? He's failed to serve the time penalty, so has been noted by race directors. Has been noted by the FIA. Hulkenberg's faster than Albon, which means that in a couple moments' time, we're going to see Hulkenberg overtake Albon for P5 in this race. Lap 27 of 71 in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Here comes the Alpine trying to get the overtake done on Behrman, but can't. Isaac Hadjar down in 12th. A little replay of what happened. No, don't really see the need to do that replay. Still don't see the need for that, but okay. Kimi Antonelli trying to get the overtake done on Nico Hulkenberg for P6 of this race. Kimi Antonelli made his F1 debut last year at Monza in FP1, his first ever race with the Formula 1 car, with the team. Got a lot of track time that day, to prepare him for this season. Antonelli trying to get the overtake done on Hulkenberg, but can't. Going down the back straight, can he get the overtake done on Hulkenberg? Yes, he has. Ka-ching! Kimi Antonelli up in the P6 at the moment. Kimi Antonelli up in the P6 at the moment. Fernando Alonso has came into the pits. No, he's come into the pits. He's in the pits at the moment. 3.2 second stop time for Alonso, which exiting the pits, I think will put him in P17 because Yuki Tsunoda's in shambles today, and he's currently 10 seconds behind Alonso. Yeah, and what a mess it's been for Ferrari. Leclerc's tire, his tire's done. His tire's done. Remember that Yuki Tsunoda still got that 10-second time penalty. At the end of the race, probably going to get an even bigger time penalty because he failed to serve that penalty, earlier in the race. But Lewis Hamilton down in P16, still trying to make up lost time. Just remember that Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen will most likely be on the podium if Lando Norris gets a big enough, if Piastri gets a big enough lead. Looks like Verstappen might be on the podium because of a lot of drivers pitting at the moment. But because of Piastri's 10-second time penalty he has, with his collision of Lance Stroll, he collided into the back right, I want to say, and one of the back tires. I think it was the back left. He kind of hit the back left of Lance Stroll's car, back left tire of Lance Stroll's car, as Lando Norris is getting ready for a pit stop. So he hit the back left of Lance Stroll's car, causing Lance Stroll to spin. Lance Stroll's still in the race, but he spun out there and got back into the race. But that gives Oscar Piastri a 10-second time penalty. Yuki Tsunoda is probably going to get an even bigger time penalty. 2.2 second stop for Norris, which will put him out in P4, I think. But that's time penalty. But Yuki Tsunoda failed to comply with his time penalty earlier. Failed to use his time penalty. So I think he's going to get an even bigger time penalty. And earlier in the race, if you're just joining us now, Gabriel Bortoleto crashed on lap 1 of the race. His family was at the race. His family was in the pits, watched him crash there. So it was a really sad moment for the entire family. It's not been a good weekend for Gabriel Bortoleto. He was very thankful yesterday to have gone out of that crash alive and to be well and to even be alive after that crash yesterday, expressing his gratitude on his Instagram story yesterday to his mechanics and everyone else. Charles Leclerc's out the race because his tire fell off the car, and I think someone hit the back of his tire, and his tire fell off the car, and he had to stop on the track because of too much damage on the tire. It's not been a good race for Ferrari at all. Lewis Hamilton in P14, he's already had to make 2 pit stops at the moment because on lap 1 of the race, his front wing fell off the car, so he had to stop in lap 1 of the race. He had to make a pit stop in lap 1, and that was a very long pit stop on lap 1 because it was wedged on the bar, because when the front wing came off his car, Hamilton's car, it went under his car, so they had to wedge it out of his car, and that's why he's in P14 at the moment. Yuki Tsunoda's got a time penalty at the moment, so that's something to look at the moment. His 10-second time penalty really not helping his cause down in P18. That's not making his cause even worse. Verstappen in P3 at the moment in the podium position. Piastri P1 at the moment, but I don't think he'll end in P1. He'll probably most likely end up in P2 because of his 10-second time penalty. Yeah. Because of his 10-second time penalty for a collision with Lance Stroll. he basically tried to overtake Lance Stroll. Lance hit the back of Lance Stroll's car. Lance Stroll spun out. Lance Stroll still in the race. Hit the back of his tire. Hit his tire and caused him to spin out, but he's still in the race at the moment. And that's why Piastri's got that 10-second time penalty at the moment. Yuki Tsunoda failed to comply his 10-second time penalty. And I am confused why Hamilton's got a penalty. I do not remember Hamilton getting his penalty at the moment. Do we have anything from today? No, nothing from the FIA, I guess. So it's been a battle between Verstappen and Hamilton. It's going to be a battle between Verstappen and Norris at the moment, because Verstappen's 2 seconds behind Lando Norris. A 10-second time penalty for Yuki Tsunoda to failing to serve the time penalty correctly. So now he's got a 20-second time penalty, which will not help his cause, because he's down in P17 at the moment. So I don't think that's very helpful, having a 20-second time penalty at the moment. Because he had a 10-second time penalty, and got another 10-second time penalty, which means he's got a 20-second time penalty if you add it up. George Russell about to come into the pits here. Piastri still in the lead of this race on lap 34 of 71. So yeah, it's not been a good race for Yuki Tsunoda. Lewis Hamilton has made 3 pit stops already this race. Not been a good race for him at the moment. A couple drivers are going to come into the pits. George Russell has yet to pit Oscar Piastri. Just remember that Oscar Piastri has yet to pit as well, so he'll have to pit at some point in this race. Here's the replay of Pierre Gasly's overtake. Pierre Gasly on Isaac Hadjar. A pretty clean overtake on Isaac Hadjar. Up in the P9 for Pierre Gasly. And here comes George Russell into the pits. That is a pretty fast time there. 2.4 second stop. Verstappen comes into the pits for his second pit stop of the race. A 2.3 second stop for him. So Russell will come out. Verstappen will come out in P11, I'm pretty sure. It's a pretty long pit exit. But Verstappen comes out in P11. Russell comes out in P7. Piastri is still yet to pit, so he's going to have to pit at some point. Lando Norris 11 seconds behind Oscar Piastri. So Oscar Piastri, if he wanted to pit, I think now would be the best time for him to pit. So Piastri has yet to pit. Hulkenberg has yet to pit. Hulkenberg's up in the P4. Kimi Antonelli up in the P3 at the moment in Mercedes. So we've got Oscar Piastri followed by Norris, then Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Russell, Hadjar, Gasly, Lawson, and Verstappen, rounding out the top 10 there. Verstappen in P12 at the moment. Actually, not in P10, P12. Albon in the pits at the moment. Carlos Sainz moves, which will move up. Verstappen in the P10. Albon, let's see how fast his pit stop is. Comes into the box. The tires have been changed. It's been done. 2.4 second stop for Alex Albon. For Alex Albon at the moment. 23 seconds it took him to get in the pits, to get his tires changed, and to skedaddle out the pits. Piastri followed by Norris and Antonelli, I think. Yeah, Hulkenberg, I think, is going to come in for a pit stop at the moment. Yeah, we still have yet to see Oscar Piastri pit. We're almost on lap 40 of 71. We're on lap 37 of 71. Oscar Piastri still has yet to pit. in this race, so he'll have to make his pit stop shortly. As Hulkenberg comes into the pits. And that will put Behrman in 4th with Antonelli in 3rd. And George Russell in 5th at the moment. Puts Hulkenberg up in the P11. P12 actually. Actually P13. Probably come out in P14 is my guess. Verstappen in P8 at the moment, trying to get an overtake done on Pierre Gasly. Verstappen trying to get an overtake done on Pierre Gasly. Piastri in P1 at the moment, with Norris in P2 and Antonelli in P3. Here comes the battle between Verstappen and Gasly. Verstappen gets the overtake done. Verstappen's up in the P6, Gasly down in the P7 at the moment. Box to retire the car. And Hamilton's mishaps and misfortunes have continued to rain down. It's Lewis Hamilton. Piastri is going to box, says his teammate, says his race engineer, and he is in the pits at the moment and serving his 10-second penalty at the moment. Oscar Piastri serving that 10-second penalty at the moment, which will put Kimi Antonelli in the P2 and Lando Norris up in the P1. A 13-second stop, and bye-bye. Lewis Hamilton has retired from the Brazilian Grand Prix, and that is it. He is done. And Lewis Hamilton is out of the race. And Lewis Hamilton came into the pits to retire. His race engineer has told him to come to the pits and retire. And he came into the pits, he's retired, and there was 17 more. 17 drivers left in this race. And everyone's made a pit stop at the moment. So congratulations to everyone for making a pit stop at the moment. Lando Norris in first. It's currently looking like a Mercedes 2-3 at the moment. If Kimi Antonelli can make the overtake on Lando Norris if Kimi Antonelli can get an overtake on Lando Norris, that would be great. But currently it's Lando in first, followed by Antonelli in second and Russell in third. Behrman fourth with Verstappen in fifth. Lawson in sixth. Piastri in seventh. Gasly coming into the pits. He's in P8 at the moment. He's in P9 with Ocon in P8 and Alonso in P10. No, wait. It'll be Ocon P8, Alonso P9, and Hulkenberg P10. That is what it looks like at the moment. But Lando Norris still a 7-second lead in first. Verstappen, we are without doubt. Something. Couldn't really read it. Could not really read it. Currently Piastri is gaining 6 points. Still a huge lead for Norris at in the championship if all things stand from now till the end of the race. We've still got 30 laps to go in this one. Still 30 laps left in this race. Still a lot of racing to go. Antonelli 7 seconds behind Norris for P1. Yuki Tsunoda and P15 at the moment. Lando Norris in first with Antonelli in second, George Russell in third. Yuki Tsunoda down in the 17th with Hamilton retiring. We have 3 retired drivers at the moment. Oscar Piastri asking for the plan here. Oscar, use your pace. We're trying to catch and undercut Behrman and Russell. Verstappen will help you with that, as Behrman is coming into the pits right now, which will propel him into which will propel Piastri up into P5. Lando Norris in first, followed by Antonelli in second. So we've got Lando Norris in first, as there goes Carlos Sainz making the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda, making that overtake possible. Thank you guys for the 79 views. I greatly appreciate that. Lap 44 of 71 on this Grand Prix. Lando Norris in first, followed by Antonelli in second. Lando Norris in first place at the moment. Antonelli in second with Russell in third. Been a really tough battle for Piastri, who's trying to get the overtake on Verstappen, but just a couple seconds behind them. Because it will be very crucial in the World Championship if he does get this overtake done. And keeping his P2 spot in the World Championship. Let's take a look at the World Championship standings, shall we? Here we go. Here's the World Championship standings at the moment. Still Verstappen in third, with Piastri in second, and Norris in first, with Red Bull overtaking Ferrari in the World Drivers' Championship for P3. In the World Constructors' Championship, for P3. Franco Colapinto has set the fastest lap of the race down in P17. That is a 1 minute 12.816 lap. A lap for him. A behemoth of a lap right there. Alonso coming into the pits here. Alonso down in P16 at the moment. Isaac Hadjar saying, "Oh my God." Isaac, head down. We have much better tires. Don't shout at me, okay? Thank you. Isaac Hadjar getting shouted at on the team radio, I guess. Trying not to get shouted at. Lando Norris still in the lead of this race. Yuki Tsunoda coming into the pits now, a 13-second stop. At this point, they should just retire Tsunoda from the race. There's no real benefit to having Yuki still in the race. George Russell says box, and box indeed, as Verstappen moves up to P2 in this race. Still 15 seconds behind Norris, which puts Piastri in a podium spot now. So Yuki Tsunoda getting on some new tires here. Well, I don't really know if it will help him, but 21 laps to go. We are 21 laps away from the ending of this race, and it's been a race that has been dominated all throughout through Lando Norris. And Lando Norris' dominance has really shown today here in Sao Paulo. So Lando Norris coming out of the pits. He'll be coming out in P3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's coming out in P3. Because Lando Norris had a 14-second lead on Piastri. And we've got a new race leader. Verstappen making the overtake on Lando Norris because Lando Norris is in the pits right now. We have a new race leader, Max Verstappen. He's moved up from P19 to P1. Congratulations, Max Verstappen. You're in the lead of the race right now. 20 laps to go. Verstappen's in the lead of this race with Piastri P2, Lando Norris P3, Antonelli 4th, Russell 5th, Lawson 6th, Behrman 7th, Hulkenberg 8th, Albon 9th, and Lance Stroll in 10th. And I think we've got Oscar Piastri in P2. Verstappen in P1 of this race. Wow, what a race it's been for him. Yuki Tsunoda gets a fast lap of the race of 112.774. Verstappen coming on the radio saying, "Something I didn't think to say, Max. End of the race, end of the pit lane earlier. You are now the race leader." And Verstappen was like, "Not bad." He doesn't really seem too phased that he's a race leader. Piastri says, "Box, box." Piastri's gonna box right now, which will put Lando Norris in P2 at the moment. Keep him in the lead of the championship. Keeping him in the lead of the championship and putting Piastri in P7. P6 right now, and now he's going to go into P7. Lap 52 of 71 of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Isaac Hadjar getting the overtake there. Hadjar currently in P10. Yes, he gets the overtake for P10. The overtake on Stroll for P10. Verstappen followed by Norris, then Antonelli. Antonelli's in P3 at the moment. Can Antonelli get this long-deserved podium? Can he get a podium spot, which he hasn't done in a while? So it looks like one pit stop isn't enough. I think 2 is gonna be a lot of pit stops. Lewis Hamilton did take 4 pit stops before he eventually retired from the race. before he eventually retired from the race a while ago. So it's Verstappen followed by Norris, then Antonelli, Russell, Lawson, Behrman, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Albon, and Hajar round out the top. So Piastri in P6 right now got the overtake done on Behrman. But the battle between Verstappen and Norris is getting oh so close. The battle between Verstappen and Norris is getting oh so close. It looks like Sainz is about to overtake Stroll for P12 of this race. Couldn't do it there, but the battle for first, a 6-second lead for Verstappen in P1 in this race. Looks like Red Bull's getting ready for a pit stop, and it looks like Verstappen's coming into the pits. Verstappen's in the pits right now, which will put him in... He's currently in P1. We'll see where he ends at the end of this pit stop. He's in P2 right now, a 2.5 second stop, which has put him in third place, no fourth place right now. Looks like he'll be in 6th place, at least, no, actually, yeah, I think he'll be in 4th place at the end of this pit stop. 4th place, he's in 4th place of this race now. So we've got Lando Norris in first, followed by Antonelli in second, Russell in third with Verstappen in fourth, and Lando Norris is back in the lead of this race. We are on lap 55 of 71, less than 20 laps to go. Lando Norris in the lead of this race. Vote for driver of the day. Go to f1.com/vote and vote for your driver of the day. I think driver of the day's got to go to Max Verstappen. He was in P19 at the beginning of the race. He is currently P4 in the race. He had the lead of the race for a bit, but he's had a really good race, Verstappen. Not really thinking about everything else. So Lando Norris in P1 at the moment. Antonelli 5 seconds back in P2. Can we see a battle for that shortly? Verstappen on the soft tires, a very vulnerable tire as his team tells him. So Lando Norris in the lead of this race. Less than 20 laps to go. A 5 second lead for Norris in the lead of the race. Max Verstappen has gained 15 positions since the race started, a fastest lap of a minute 12.447. Verstappen trying to get an overtake done on Russell. He is only 2 seconds behind George Russell for a podium spot, and a podium spot indeed would be very good for Verstappen in his chance in his World Championship contention, and to keep it in the World Drivers' Championship. George Russell's got to manage the brakes because he's losing a lot of time. So that means that in a couple of laps or so, a 2.8 second gap between the two. But I think that Max Verstappen will eventually get the overtake done on George Russell. So it looks like Verstappen can get the overtake done on George Russell. Possibly. We'll have to wait and see if that can happen. But at the moment, Lando Norris out in the lead of this race. A 6-second lead in the race. A 2-second gap between Verstappen and George Russell. Mercedes on fire today. You could almost make a case for Kimi Antonelli being driver today because of a dominant performance he's had. So yeah, 4-second lead between Verstappen and Antonelli. 4-second lead for the 4-second gap between Verstappen and Antonelli. Voting for driver today closes in 10 laps, so go to f1.com/vote if you want to vote on your driver of the day. My driver, Max Verstappen leads the voting. 46% of people voted for Verstappen for driver of the day. Alex Albon gets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:12.400. Never thought I would be saying that. Never thought I'd say that. We are on lap 61 of 71. 10 more laps. 10 more laps remaining in this one. Whoa. So, vote on who you guys think will win the race today. Lando Norris out there in P1 at the moment. I think that's how we'll see the ending at the moment right now. Looking like it's gonna go their way. Looks like it's gonna go their way. The way of Lando Norris at the moment, and that's what we're gonna see at the moment. It's going the way of Lando. So yeah. So the battle between Verstappen and Antonelli, a 2-second gap between the two. But first Verstappen has to get George Russell at the moment, because Verstappen's in P4, George Russell's in P3. So he has to catch George Russell before anything else can happen. And Verstappen into turn 1. Yes, he does. P3 for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is P3 at the moment. Lap 63 of 71, actually. So we've got Verstappen trying to catch Kimi Antonelli. 9 seconds separates Antonelli. No, wait. 9 seconds separates Verstappen and Lando Norris for the lead of the race. It will be I'm very doubtful that Verstappen can get the lead of the race. But we'll see. We'll see what will happen. Nice overtake there for Verstappen. The fans in the stands erupting after that overtake for Verstappen. Verstappen's just 2 seconds behind Kimi Antonelli, and it looks like Max Verstappen's actually been faster over the last couple laps or so than Kimi Antonelli has been. Lap 64 of 71, 6 laps to go. No, 7 laps. 7 laps to go in this one. A 2-second gap between Verstappen and Antonelli. For P2 in this race. A 9-second gap between Verstappen and the leader. The gap between Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli is what we'll be watching up until the end of the race. We'll see what Verstappen does, but it looks like Verstappen's gaining a lot of time on Antonelli. It's now down to a 1-second gap. Verstappen has gained 16 positions this race. Been a huge race for him. Been an enormous race for him. Seven laps to go in this one. The counter has... No, 6 laps to go in this one. Lap 65 of 71. Kimi Antonelli still 7 seconds behind the leader, but it looks like it's going to be a battle between Verstappen and Antonelli for P2 in this race. Verstappen 1.4 seconds behind Antonelli for P2 in this race. George Russell trying to defend Oscar Piastri. if you look at the data, realistically speaking, Verstappen has been faster over the last couple laps, has had a faster lap time than Kimi Antonelli over the last couple laps of this race. So it's really playing into Verstappen's favor for P2 in this race. I don't think Verstappen can get P1 in this race because we're on lap 66 of 71, but I think that he can get P2, Verstappen, because he's really close to getting that P2 position. 1.3 seconds is what separates Piastri and George Russell for P4 in this race. 1.4 seconds is also what separates Antonelli and Verstappen in this race in the battle for P2. Driver of the day closes in 4 laps. You can vote on f1.com/vote for your driver of the day. 50% of the people have voted for Verstappen to win driver of the day, and I agree. Verstappen has been having a phenomenal race, and if he can get P2, even better for Verstappen in terms of the lead in terms of the championship standings. Yeah, we're on laps 66 of 71, and you look at the championship, and it's looking like Max Verstappen really closing the gap in. Red Bull will overtake Ferrari in the World Constructors' Championship as we go to lap 67. Because Ferrari gained no points today. Red Bull gaining 15 points will put them up to 366 and have a 4-point lead on Ferrari in P3 of the World Constructors' Championship. Because, of course, McLaren winning the World Constructors' Championship, so no real need to look at the World Constructors' Championship. 4 laps to go. We're on lap 68 of this race. The battle is continuing to close. Verstappen trying to get the overtake on Antonelli. Looks like it can get done on this lap. Looks like Verstappen can get the overtake done on Antonelli. Can he do it on this corner? No. Antonelli, the gap is 0.6 of a second between the two. Separates the two. And it's looking like Verstappen can get the overtake done on Antonelli. It's going to be Antonelli's really playing the defensive mode right now. And he's really playing that defensive mode well. Because Verstappen hasn't really gone into a point where he can get that overtake done. We're on lap 68 of 71. 3 laps remaining. And it's really looking like it's going in the favor of Antonelli at the moment. Antonelli really playing that defensive position. And the battle continues to close. Here comes Verstappen into turn 4. Kimi Antonelli's highest finish in an actual race is P3. He finished P2 in the sprint race yesterday, but his best position in a Grand Prix is P1, is P2, is P3 actually, which he achieved earlier this year. So it's really looking like it's going to pay in Antonelli's favor. Alright, we take a look at Lando Norris with 2 laps to go. It looks like it's a battle between Verstappen and Antonelli at the moment, which will probably drag on to the finish line. But for right now, Lando Norris is about to get on the final lap of the race. He's about to go into the final lap of the race. Piastri on Russell. Piastri might get the overtake done on George Russell. Doesn't really seem very likely for that to happen. Lando Norris about to get on lead the final lap of the race. On lap 70 of 71, the battle between Verstappen and Antonelli just continues to drag on. And the more and more it drags on, the more and more of a bigger gap Antonelli's getting. And Antonelli's going to cruise through to the finish line. But not for much longer because Lando Norris is in the lead of the race, about to enter the final lap of the race. As Lando Norris leads the race, he won the sprint yesterday. No, wait. Yes. Yes. So it's the same top... Really? No. The same top 2 as we saw in the sprint race is the same top 2 now. It's been a beautiful weekend in Brazil. It's been a great weekend for Lando Norris, who qualified first. He qualified first in the sprint race, finished first in the sprint race. Qualified first for the Grand Prix, and he's about to do it today. But here in Sao Paulo, it's been an incredible weekend. An incredible weekend of remembrance for Ayrton Senna and what he's accomplished in his career. It's always been a great race in Sao Paulo. Lando Norris wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and he does it with a 10-second lead. Antonelli about to come across the finish line. Antonelli comes into P2. Verstappen in P3. Verstappen couldn't get Antonelli for P3. Antonelli, he finishes in P2, his highest finish in an F1 Grand Prix. His highest finish in an F1 race. Lando Norris gets the win today, and an amazing win for him as the Cador crosses the line in P8, and the rest of the drivers will cross the line. But Lando Norris, he is your race winner today. He wins the Brazilian Grand Prix in great fashion. A great win, huge win for him today, as he wins the race in style. As he wins the race in style, Lando Norris wins the race today, and we're about to see him getting interviewed and getting on the podium in just a little bit. In just a little bit of time. Yeah, what a race it was for Lando Norris. Max Verstappen couldn't get the overtake done on Antonelli, sadly, but still a good race nonetheless. Still a good race for him nonetheless. And Antonelli...
Kimmy got second? Is that his first podium?
No. It says, I think this is Kimi's third podium in F1. He got his highest finish yesterday in P2. Never has yet to win a race. But the race story to look at is Max Verstappen, who started P19. he finishes P3 today on the podium. What a race it was for Max Verstappen. A better race than he had last year. Starting in P17 and finishing in first. He starts 2 places back than he did last year. As Lando Norris slots into his first place spot, he gets out the car. He's about to get out of the car, should I say. He's about to get out the car in the lead of the race. What a race it was for Lando Norris. What a win it was for the team in orange. What a race it is for the people back in England. Lando Norris is leading the championship and wins the race today. There he is, the fist pump in the air as he gets out the car. The Mercedes team excited because Antonelli gets a P2 finish. Great for Antonelli. And the McLaren team celebrating with Lando Norris for his win today. Piastri going to the FIA box area. And what a win it is for Lando Norris. And the celebrations will continue into the night here. Max Verstappen started 19th, finished 3rd. Even though he didn't get that first place he might have wanted or hoped for, he gets driver of the day. And a very much great win for Lando Norris. But a great race for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen finishes P3 on the podium. And he should be happy no matter what happened. He should be happy for himself. Starting P19, everyone had high expectations for him. Finishing P3 was a huge race for him, and he should be proud of himself for having a great race like that. Kimi Antonelli, just 19 days of age. The best rookie driver on the grid at the moment. Oliver Behrman also having a great season today. Bortoleto out of the race. Not a good race for him. But on lap 59, Alex Albon got the DHL fastest lap of the race, sponsored by DHL. A minute 12 lap. A great lap from him. The fans from the UK in full force here in Sao Paulo. We'll see you next week we'll see you in a couple weeks in Las Vegas. That will be the next F1 race. In a couple weeks' time as we get ready for the podium celebrations. But Lando Norris, what a race it is for him. A huge lead in the championship. Let's pull up the championship lead. A huge lead on, huge lead on Piastri for the leader of the championship. 390 points for Lando Norris, as you can see it right here. If I'm pointing correctly. Down this direction. Like down here somewhere. Lando Norris has a huge lead on Verstappen. Not Verstappen, Piastri. Whoa. I don't think Verstappen's going to win the championship necessarily this year. In 2025. A 24-point lead for Lando Norris in the championship. The interview's going on at the moment before we get the podium celebrations. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, what a race there was for Verstappen. He finished 19th. He started 19th. He finished third. So the interview's going on before we can get to the podium celebrations. Yeah. So, Lando Norris getting interviewed at the moment. Still waiting for them to get out on the podium. Yeah. Lando Norris in the lead of the championship, and we still have the championship standings here. Let's take a look at it. Looks like Lando Norris is first in the championship. Piastri is in second. Verstappen's in third. We have George Russell in fourth. Not very likely that George Russell will lead the championship. That Verstappen will win the championship. I think, if I'm being honest, at this stage in the championship, it's not very possible for him to win. After that P3 finish today, I think that Norris will be very comfortable in winning the championship this weekend. All the fans running out there on the track. They've all made their way out on the track. Lando Norris signing. I don't know what that is. I know it's a bottle of some champagne or whatever. P1 for Lando Norris. Autographing that bottle of champagne that will probably be very expensive if you tried to buy it. And even more expensive because Lando Norris's autograph is on that bottle of champagne right there. I don't know what that brand. I couldn't tell what the brand was. We've got 3 races to go. Las Vegas, Qatar is a sprint weekend, and Abu Dhabi to end off the season. Las Vegas has been moved back from a 10 p.m. start in Las Vegas to a more traditional 8 p.m. start in Las Vegas. They used to do a 10 p.m. start in Las Vegas, but now it's an 8 p.m. start. That's local time. That's Las Vegas time. And there's Lando Norris' celebrations. He's about to get out there on the podium. As he makes his way in the cool-down room. Still waiting for Lando Norris to make his way up there. Up in the cool-down room. With the picture of Ayrton Senna on the wall. Still waiting as they're watching the results. Lando Norris has made his way into the cool-down room. Making his way out there in the cool-down room. Still waiting for them to get out there on the podium. Nothing. I was just stretching. Okay. Lando Norris, who's the 2025 champion, already has his name on the wall. On the wall in the cool-down room. The wall of champions. On the cool-down room. The wall of race winners, to be more exact. We're waiting for them to get out there on the. Wow, that's a lot of people. A lot of people have tried to make their way to watch the podium. That is a lot of people. $300,000 people was the weekend attendance, I think. Something around that. Like 340,000, I think, was the weekend attendance. And here comes Max Verstappen to take his spot. There's Jos Verstappen right there to take his third place spot. Second place goes to Kimi Andre Antonelli. And in first place goes to the one and only Lando Norris, who slots in P1. He's going to take a top step on the podium. It's another Grand Prix win for Lando Norris as a trophy about to be handed out to him. And there he goes, Lando Norris. He lifts the trophy. He finishes P1 in this race today. He is, wow, finishing P1 today. And he gets his medal for finishing P1 as well. A lot of fans have flocked to watch the podium. Here comes the driver in P2, Kimi Antonelli. Oh no, the constructors. Sorry, the constructors. McLaren getting their trophy. And then Antonelli's going to get his trophy. There's Kimi Antonelli getting his P2 trophy there. And then Verstappen's going to get his trophy for finishing in P3. And here on round 21, the drivers celebrate in happiness. Round 21 of the Formula One World Championship is over and in the books. And that does it. We'll see you on another Grand Prix weekend. Lando Norris extends his lead in the World Drivers'